We speak now to the CEO of Agri Western Cape, Jannie Strydom, who is in Robertson, and the Robertson area is the area that seems to have been worst affected by the terrible rains of just more than a week ago. Jannie, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, John, and good afternoon to the listeners.
Is Robertson the area worst affected?
Well, John, we drove from Paul this morning to Tulbagh, and I can tell you from Wolseley up to here between Robertson and McGregor, it's actually very sad to see what happened here. It's actually devastating. It seems impossible to just think how farmers are going to recover from this flood damage. It's really severe.
Because up to a point, yes, it affects this year's crop, and that is, well, one hopes not wiped out, but it's smaller, and maybe there's some insurance which helps you. But you think this has a longer term impact that just on the next harvest of whatever crop we're talking about?
Yeah, you see, especially with your vineyards. The harvest is completed already, so it won't impact this year's production, but definitely next year, as some of the vineyards are just washed away, or perhaps damaged, especially the irrigation infrastructure as well. That all needs to be replaced. So it might definitely have a negative impact next season. The other concern is that we're currently in the citrus harvesting season, and hopefully farmers will get access to their orchards and to the pack houses, as we've seen a lot of bridges washed away. We just had to drive close to 100-kilometer detour now to get to this farm where I am currently, and it's normally a 10K drive. So it's making it difficult for the farmers, but I think in terms of production, definitely on your vineyards. But the citrus, let's hope that there's not too much damage on that, because they're now currently busy with the harvesting process.
So I think the farm that's had the most publicity is Springfield, Jenna Boulevard and Agri, and because they are right on the banks of the Breda, and new vineyards, significant expansion, and to plant a hectare of new grapes is an incredibly expensive exercise, and they've had, I think it was somewhere like 9 hectares wiped out. And there were other wine farms in the area as well. So that is the agricultural industry worst affected. Citrus next on the ladder of disaster.
Yeah, no, for sure. On Tuesday I drove past Citrusdal as well, and there's a lot of orchards also underwater and perhaps after all washed away. So that's also very expensive to establish. So the farmers are in for quite an expensive re-establishment cost, and especially, well, that's not only the plant material, but the infrastructure. One must remember, below the ground there's irrigation pipes, there's pumps into where they can withdraw water from river banks and so forth. So all washed away. So it's going to be a huge amount of money. Unfortunately, we're still busy with determining the exact monetary effect through the Department of Agriculture with their survey. But I'm 100% of opinion, John, that it's going to be much worse than 2 and 3 years ago, the flooding that we had then.
Are there any areas where the rain has been as much of a benefit as it has been a disadvantage? Any crop that has now been beautifully irrigated before the planting and so on, or is it across the board a negative picture?
No, you're 100% right. There's always a silver lining. First of all, 2 areas for me personally. It's our catchment areas, our dams, and the major dams. I just got figures this morning. In a week's time, it escalated from 52% to 70%. Our major dams. Some dams 100% full, others close to 100%. So that's very positive for us. It's the beginning of our winter rain season, and already those levels, we welcome those levels. And then our winter grain farms, they're not irrigating, it's dry land. So this rain, we really welcome that. As we drove from Paul this morning to Gouda, and I mean, you can just see the grains already visible on the land. That's really that's amazing, and we're very thankful for that, because our grain farmers really need a proper season this season and a crop. So production-wise, we're very, very optimistic and happy for them with this rain that they got.
Jannie Strydom, thanks for sparing us some time as you drive around having a look at what's happening to the farmers, the CEO of Agri Western Cape.